We just received some huge news regarding the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 last night, courtesy of the Metal Gear Production Hotline at the Tokyo Game Show 2025. During the hotline, a question was asked if Volume 2 would ever come out, and it was confirmed on the spot that it was already in progress and that it's looking quite enjoyable, end quote. What does this mean for us? Well, in the previous video, I had talked about how this should have came out a couple years ago at this point, but back then we had zero clue on what was going on behind the scenes. There's no release date projected yet, but it was said that another announcement would be made in due time by the production producer Noriaki Okamura. This could mean that Metal Gear Solid 4 may be coming out of PS3 jail, as a lot of you already know, but if you are a new fan after Delta, you cannot play Metal Gear Solid 4 unless you own a PS3 or have a decent enough PC to run it on emulator. Besides Metal Gear Solid 4, I'm expecting to see Peace Walker, which is an underrated game by the way, and maybe Port Ops within that collection as well. On top of that, another question was asked in regard to another remake in the series, like how we got with Metal Gear Solid Delta last month. Okamura responded that it's his personal wish to see Metal Gear Solid 1 remade with max difficulty. I can't lie, that would actually look insane and maybe more feasible given that Metal Gear Solid 1 takes place entirely on Shadow Moses Island instead of like us going to like all these different regions and whatnot in Delta. So it might not take as long as Delta, since it was said that Delta took 5 years to develop. Take all that with a grain of salt though, as this was his personal wish and nothing has been confirmed. Let me ask this though, what game would you like to see get the Delta treatment? Me personally, I think it would be interesting to see the original Metal Gear games get the same treatment. Moving on with the topic of Japanese games, this is for the JRPG fans, but Metaphor ReFantazio had won their first grand prize for Atlas at the Tokyo Game Awards, so Metaphor on top because it's actually deserved. It's honestly a fantastic game with incredible visuals and an easy to follow story with many subliminals relating to our everyday life on this planet. So if you already played the Persona games and love those titles, this is a modern day evolution of the Atlas formula while retaining some of those key mechanics and or fundamentals. Go buy the game and tell me what you think though. Speaking of Persona, Atlas had released Volume 1 of the Persona 3 manga, and you already know I had to cop. It's free to download on Steam right now for a limited time, so if you love Persona 3 regardless of which version, I would say get this before you miss out. Finally, we have news of the third installment of the Final Fantasy trilogy from the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth director Naoki Hamaguchi, in which he says that production development is going extremely well and the game is shaping up nicely, which is good to hear. A lot of the content is already playable and the game's direction and form are firmly set in place. Right now, the team is united around refining everything. He also mentioned that rest assured that they will be bringing a proper high quality third installment. No projected release date on that, but it's nice to know how the development progress has been shaping. On a side note, Silent Hill F dropped today, so I might try to play that for this channel. Recently, I've been streaming some oldies and fan favorites here and just having a blast. If you haven't seen my Dino Crisis analysis, check that out. I talk about Dino Crisis for over an hour. Alright, I'm done yapping though. That's all I have for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one.